20 sci-fi robots that stole our heart. Some science fiction fans are drawn to the genre for the otherworldly settings, futuristic technology, and deep questions about the nature of humanity. The rest of us just want to see lovable robots. From beloved children's classics to blockbuster heroes, here are 20 robots that may be fictional, but stole our hearts in a very real way. BB-8. BB-8 is more than a Star Wars character, he's a pop culture phenomenon. In fact, fans love the tiny robot so much, they welcomed him into their homes. After BB-8's big-screen debut in The Force Awakens, a tie-in toy was released that ended up selling 2,000 units an hour. If that's not a sign that BB-8 is a universally loved character, we don't know what is. Carl. Meet the Robinsons is a time-travel animation film about a particularly kooky futuristic family, so somehow it just makes sense that Carl, the family's robot, is probably one of the most normal of the bunch. He can be on the neurotic side, after all, he was literally inspired by Marvin from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but he remains an entertaining addition to one of Disney's most refreshing fictional families, Johnny 5. Contemporary pop culture is ripe with friendly, funny, and lovable robots, and Short Circuit paved the way for this trend. The 1986 film was an unexpected hit, in no small part thanks to its charming and quirky protagonist, the sentient robot Johnny 5, aka Number 5. Data. Although he's a loyal and dutiful lieutenant commander, Data doesn't rank all too high on the list of best Star Trek characters, until, of course, you remember his love of Sherlock Holmes. Data's love of the Victorian literary character is pure and endearing, even if his attempts to emulate Holmes tend to go awry. Data may be a robot, but first and foremost, he's a fan, and we respect that. R2-D2. Poor R2-D2. Ever since BB-8 arrived on the scene, it's almost like Star Wars fans have forgotten that he used to be the franchise's resident cute robot. Brimming with loyalty, courage, and adorable beeping noises, R2-D2 is a truly iconic sci-fi character. Weebo. For a robotic assistant in a children's movie, Flubber's Weebo was actually a highly complex and interesting character. While she was faithful and fiery, she was also flawed, allowing her jealousy and insecurity to get the best of her. It's the kind of multidimensionality we don't always get to see in female characters in movies, let alone female robots. Vision. Vision is ranked a fan favorite among the Avengers, and there are a lot of them, so that says a lot. MCU fans have only fallen deeper in love with the thoughtful, romantic android since the premiere of Disney Plus's record-breaking series WandaVision. It's still unclear as to whether we'll be able to see more of Vision in the MCU, but we're still crossing our fingers. Bumblebee. Optimus Prime might be the Autobot you'd want by your side on the battlefield, but Bumblebee is the one you'd want by your side as a friend. He has always been one of the more compelling characters in the Transformers franchise, and we're certainly happy that the clumsy, playful hero finally got his own movie. BuffyBot. On the outside, BuffyBot is simply a carbon copy of everyone's favorite vampire slayer, and internally, well, she doesn't have a lot going on. However, her existence allowed Buffy's human friends to protect Sunnydale while she was, spoiler alert, briefly deceased, and that's no small feat. Buffy fans were definitely breathing a sigh of relief when the real Buffy returned, but she wouldn't have had a town to return to if not for her robotic counterpart. T-800. Okay, hear us out, yes, the Terminator is a bad guy sometimes. But he's also a good guy sometimes, and sometimes he's even a good guy fighting himself as a bad guy. It's all very confusing, but it's undeniable that Schwarzenegger's T-800 is one of the most iconic characters in modern science fiction. Even fans who preferred to watch him as a villain have to admit it's easy to warm to him as the sequel's hero. Marvin. Marvin is deeply depressed, his talents are underutilized, and he's still somehow one of the best things about The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. From radio plays to books and movies, Douglas Adams' absurdist science fiction story has taken on many forms since the 1970s, and Marvin is a hilarious addition to all of them. Ben. A high-tech reimagining of Robert Louis Stevenson's classic Treasure Island. Treasure Planet is a Disney film you may have forgotten about altogether. The movie is definitely worth revisiting, though, in large part thanks to Ben, the quirky robot portrayed by the effortlessly brilliant Martin Short. Short brings his trademark eccentricity to the role, and creates a character that stands out, even among a very talented voice cast. Wall-E. It's no wonder that Wall-E is one of the most beloved Pixar movies. Everything about it is adorable, the cockroach included. It's the film's eponymous robot, however, who is truly a tour de force of cuteness. Wall-E just wants to protect nature, find love and save the world, and we just want to give him a hug. Fembots. Androids so rarely get the chance to be seductive, and in that sense, the fembots from the Austin Powers franchise were breaking barriers for robots everywhere. In all seriousness though, the fembots have carved themselves a legacy in pop culture, with pop stars like Ariana Grande referencing them in their work to this day. Baymax. There are many reasons why Big Hero 6 has resonated so deeply with Disney fans. Part of the movie's appeal is the imaginative setting of San Francisco and the powerful themes of adolescence and grief, but largely it's because Baymax is so delightfully cute. What's particularly touching about Big Hero 6 is that the film is about Baymax's journey and growth as much as it's about the human protagonist hero. Astro Boy. It's hard not to love Astro Boy, in the popular TV series and the 2009 movie as well. For a robot with the ability to fire lasers and fly, he is a genuine sweetheart with only the purest of intentions. If all the selfless fighting to save humanity isn't enough to steal your heart, the big saucer eyes will be. Robot. A true friend is one who always has your back, even when it comes to criminal activities. Robot and Frank is a sweet and understated film about an elderly thief with declining cognitive abilities and the computer-programmed assistant who helps him tend to his garden and carry out heists. It may not be the most traditional of friendships, but it's a powerful one nonetheless. Dolores. Dolores is an android who refuses to accept what she's been given. Despite being designed for the role of damsel in distress, she rejects her fate and chooses instead to lead a revolution. Her gutsiness makes her not only one of the best characters on Westworld, but one of the best female characters on television right now. Ron. Given the fact that Ron's Gone Wrong came out in 2021, this bubble bot may be the least recognizable on this list, but hopefully won't be for long. In typical Disney fashion, Ron is endearing and funny, even while malfunctioning. On top of all of this is the fact that he's voiced by the hilarious Zach Galifianakis, a casting choice that cements Ron's status as the next cartoon sci-fi icon. The Iron Giant. The Iron Giant may not have been a massive box office hit, but it remains a critically acclaimed hidden gem. The movie is not only a cute family-friendly flick, but a poignant story about rejecting violence and creating your own destiny. At the heart of it all is the giant himself, an animated character who deserves to be as easily recognized as the likes of Wall.
Row 18, plot 20.